Happy fall, y'all. It is me, Fuzz Martin. This is 15 Minutes with Fuzz. It's technically not fall yet. Fall starts on the 22nd of September, but you know what? It's the unofficial start of fall, and that's what matters to me. Give me shorts and a hoodie. That's my kind of weather. September's my favorite month. It's my birthday month. It's my wife's birthday month. I just enjoy it. Back in 2015, we had a client here at Epic Creative, my business that was a sponsor of the CrossFit Games. I had a chance to go out to the games in Carson, California that year. It was a pretty cool experience. When I got back, I joined what was then known as A1 CrossFit, and it was a pretty transformative experience for me. Today, the facility is known as A1 Health and Fitness. Owner Alex Kain and his sister Liz Dreher are planning a huge celebration in honor of their 10th anniversary at A1 Health and Fitness, and that is coming up on Sunday, September 15th, 2024, at A1 Health and Fitness on Highway 33 in West Bend, right over there next to Keith's Marina. They joined me on today's show to talk about the gym, their journey, and the celebration. And with that, here are 15 minutes on A1 Health and Fitness's 10th anniversary celebration with Alex Kain and Liz Dreher on 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Alex, thanks for joining me today. Can you first tell us a bit about your background? How did you get started here into the world of fitness?
Well, thank you very much for having me. And my background, honestly, I started coaching just like right out of high school. Mm-hmm. I had been doing gymnastics and had a friend that was coaching at the Badger Middle School. And so like 18 years old, started helping out at Badger Middle School, coaching gymnastics, and kind of kept going from there. I kept a job of coaching all through college and post-college and stuff like that. So,
and did you go to college for health and fitness? Was that your degree?
Yeah, I actually started off in pre-PT, and then kind of shifted into health and fitness, and then did undergrad and master's in health and fitness, or like exercise physiology, technically.
Sure. Okay. And then you ended up going overseas and doing some coaching and stuff overseas, right?
Yeah. Pretty cool opportunity. Basically, I guess fast forward a little bit, I got into, my main background was like gymnastics and diving. That's what I did. And then I got into cheerleading in college. And so out of college, I was coaching cheerleading. And we got invited to this big competition called the World Cheerleading Championships down in Florida. And through that and through connections, met some people in New Zealand and had an opportunity to go to New Zealand to coach, and spent a total of about 3.5 years there. And then another year or so in Australia as well. So,
and you were working with their national teams, or is that?
Yeah, so they're basically, when they compete in the ICU, or the International Cheer Union.
Okay.
Basically, they created a national team that would go over and compete, and so I was put in charge of, like co-charge or whatever of those two teams. So helped work with those teams.
Great.
I
didn't have as you know, my oldest daughter was not a cheerleader. She was a power lifter, because you saw her come through your gym.
Yeah.
So I didn't spend a lot of time in the cheerleading world growing up with my oldest daughter. Maybe my youngest daughter, who's outside this room right now, might get into it. But never really got into that. So I'm not totally familiar with the world, but I know it's super competitive and very acrobatic, and lots of strength and gymnastics and all of that involved, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's not, I think a lot of times when people think of cheerleading, they think of like you-rah-rah, kind of like almost what you might see maybe on movies or, on TV, whatever. And yeah, it's a very competitive sport, especially in the all-star world and then into college and stuff like that. I mean, even high school, there's competitive teams. But yeah, it's a lot of gymnastics, tumbling across the floor. They even compete on a spring floor too, so similar to what you'd have in gymnastics. And then doing mounts and stunts and stuff like that, where you're lifting people up in the air and holding them up.
So eventually you came back to the United States, and you're here now, and you opened a gym back in what it would have been 2014, right?
Yep. 2014. Yeah, August.
And it was on Lang?
It was on Lang, yeah. So
Yeah.
right off of 33, just on the east side of town, behind like St. Vincent de Paul.
Sure. So it was A1 CrossFit at the time.
It was.
And a little one-bay garage, right?
Yeah, it was small. It was, the actual workout space was, I think, 800 square feet, but
Okay.
like the total, there's a small office as well and a bathroom, and it was like 1,000 square feet.
And that was right at the time that CrossFit was kind of starting to take off at that time, right?
Yeah, I mean, CrossFit had been growing. I actually discovered it when I was in New Zealand. So
Okay.
I actually found a CrossFit gym in New Zealand and got into it back when I was living overseas. I mean, CrossFit started, I think, in 2007 is when they had their first quote unquote games held in California. And then, but yeah, it's basically, during that span of about 10 years, so 2007 to 2017, it really exploded.
Mm-hmm.
And it really kind of exploded, I think, more so in the US right around 2013, 14, 15, kind of around there.
Sure. And what was it that you really liked about CrossFit? What got you into it?
So I've always been into fitness and working out and stuff like that. And so I had always done like barbell movements, squatting, benching, deadlift, traditional stuff like that. But then having a gymnastics background, I was very much into gymnastics type strength movements. And so when it came out, I just like naturally almost kind of gravitated towards it because it took two things that I was kind of already doing and blended them together.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's other aspects to it than that, but yeah, those are kind of like some more of the key components, and that's what I really enjoyed about it.
Sure. And so you had the CrossFit, you had the small space, and it started developing a following, and it wasn't very long that you moved to a new space then, right, over on Highway 33?
Yep. So we moved across town from the east side to the west side. So located right next to Keys Marina, kind of right off of 144.
Sure. And then eventually, semi-recently, you shifted away from the CrossFit name to A1 Health and Fitness. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So it was about, I think, 2021, I think, is when or 2020, somewhere around there, that we actually changed over the name. But basically, like, I mean, I still love CrossFit. I love everything about CrossFit, but I think for a lot of people, it tends to be pretty extreme.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you think of like the higher level, they show off these elite level kind of like skills and stuff like that. And I mean, especially for somebody who maybe wants to get into fitness, it is way too daunting. It is too far over their head. And even from the standpoint of like, if you have a mother of three getting into fitness or wanting to lose some weight or whatever, doing something like a heavy snatch or, a more handstand push-ups. Exactly. Yeah. Like handstand walking. I mean, some of that extreme, like high level stuff is just, there's no real need for it too, So in a day-to-day application, it just doesn't really make sense.
Sure.
And so we kind of shifted away from that elite level stuff, still kind of following the methodology, similar to like what you'd see in like a HIIT training kind of thing. So it's similar to that, but kind of much more for the masses, so to speak.
So what are your focus? What do you focus on now at A1 Health and Fitness?
So we focus on, I mean, as a general, we focus on helping people reach their goals in the grand scheme of things. But how do we do that? With fitness, we incorporate strength training and changing up the workouts and stuff like that. So keeping it new by bringing in different movements and stuff like that. But at the same time, a combination of HIIT and, HIIT being high intensity interval training versus like a more of a longer term, not long-term, but longer in duration training versus a short kind of what you would call a sprint style.
Sure. And I know I see from your Facebook posts and such, you have a lot with accountability. I know you're doing some like back to school stuff and things like that, right?
Yeah. We're actually doing a September back to school special kind of challenge type thing. But we do a lot of the accountability. That's kind of how we shifted our focus to, in terms of fitness is like this big, there's a lot more to fitness than just working out, And realistically speaking, it comes down to what people are trying to achieve. Are they Are they wanting to be, everyone has a different goal that they're working towards. And so, some people could be losing weight. Other people want to get off their medication. Somebody wants to be able to play with their grandkids. Another person wants to just be better at weekend volleyball or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has a different reason for why they work out. And so we kind of understanding that have like shifted to help people reach their goals and talking to people about how we can get there by creating a path and creating a road to reach that.
Sure, certainly. So you've obviously had some success stories in this, and the reason that you have people that come to A1. Can you tell us some of the different kinds of success stories, maybe some examples of people who have succeeded at A1?
Yeah, sure. We've had a lot of good success over the years, but some of our bigger, ones. We had a guy, Brian. He came in. He actually fell off a ladder on Thanksgiving Day, and then was rushed to Flight for Life and ended up coding. Came into us, couldn't even walk. Like he was actually, I think when he first came in, I think he was actually in a wheelchair, or he was on crutches.
Okay.
Like 310 pounds.
Sure.
And he is now about 185 pounds.
Wow.
So lost all the weight, and obviously losing the weight helped with his knee and recovering his knee and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Lindsay is another one who was lost over 100 pounds. She started at about 245, and she now sits pretty comfortably about 135. I mean, a few other people, Kevin, Kristen, Amber, all lost, in the vicinity of 50 to 70 pounds.
Sure.
And I would say our average client weight loss sits around 30 pounds.
Great.
So yeah, helping people just live healthier lives.
Yeah. And so how do you, when somebody comes in and wants to get started with this, how do you help them get to that? What's your, I guess, method for getting them to that success?
It's a lot about sitting down and talking to them and finding out what they're actually looking for.
Okay.
I think a lot of times you hear like, I want to get leaner, and sometimes it's about kind of digging a little bit deeper of like, what are you actually looking for? Are you looking to gain confidence in how you look? Are you looking, for your clothes to fit better? Mm-hmm. Are you, getting off medication? We had somebody just recently actually get off their sleep machine, which is huge too. And then even the amount of money that you save by getting off medications or a sleep machine is helpful. But it's kind of like digging deeper into what their true goals are, sure, and then creating a path of how we're going to get there, like creating a road, of this is how we're going to meet those goals, and these are the steps along the way and what we're going to do.
Certainly. So it's been 10 years since you opened the first gym here, and now you're going to be celebrating coming up very soon. What's the date of your 10-year celebration?
Yeah, September 15th.
September 15th?
Yeah, so it's a Sunday.
A Sunday?
Yeah.
And you've got a big plan, and you have your sister Liz here who's sitting patiently by, and Liz loves to plan a party. Hi, Liz.
Hi, I do love to plan a party.
She plans good parties.
So tell us what you have planned
Not
for...
birthday parties, though.
I'm sure there's an inside joke.
There is, definitely. She decided to do a surprise 40th birthday party, and I'm not really good with surprises, and it didn't go. I mean,
I'm alive. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
It was wonderful. It was a wonderful party, but the initial shock surprise was a little rough.
I almost wasn't alive.
Okay. All right.
So yes, we have all the things planned for the 10th anniversary party. It's going to be awesome. We have a bouncy house for the kids. 1840 is coming with craft beers, which is super exciting.
Are they taking that cool trailer that they have?
They are, okay, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, both 1840 and Mob Craft Beer.
Okay, great.
So, we'll have like 4 to 6 beers on tap.
Great.
And then Wes is coming from Antidote as well to do the food, and he's going to be bringing some craft cocktails too. So that's going to be, we'll kind of hit all of the taste buds for drinks and things. We're going to have a DJ to kind of keep the hype up and going and music. Gaining Grit. So Brianna is going to be there with Gaining Grit. She's going to be doing, I think, movement assessments and just kind of there to answer questions. Mm-hmm. I'll be there representing Celtic Knot Massage as well. Fresh Chef from Milwaukee, which is the company that Alex uses at the gym for meal prepping.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and they do bulk orders and stuff like that.
Great.
Just Meats is going to be there.
Another company similar to Fresh Chef where they do bulk, basically just meat.
Okay. All right.
And then Prestige Supplements, which is all of the supplement line that we use in the gym. So they have protein powders, pre-workouts, post-workouts. They have tons of supplements, sleeping aids, things like that. All really, really good stuff. Felicia, who's wonderful from Blue Luna, is going to be there. And she just has an amazing presence to begin with. But she's going to be bringing some product, clothing, yoga clothing, ointments, all kinds of really good stuff. So I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yep.
And this is all taking place at A1, right?
At A1, yeah.
Okay, very good. And that is on Sunday, September 15th. What time is this happening?
Yeah, it'll start about 11 and go until about 3 or so.
Okay, and
so
this
about
is
4 hours.
Open to the public?
Yep.
People want to come in and see the gym, see what A1's about, and maybe learn more information about how they can get started. And
yeah, definitely. And we'll be giving away some prizes and stuff like that too. So what my sister listed off, like Gain and Grit, Blue Luna. We have other stuff from Foxtown Brewery as well. We might have a few other vendors there, but basically we'll be giving away like bags of gifts and stuff like that for fitness
challenges.
Stuff. Yeah, fitness
stuff.
challenges,
Yep.
but just kind of to give back to the community. For we've been here 10 years and it's crazy to think that it's been 10 years already, but
those things go fast.
They do.
But this is going to be the day. If you've been curious at all, this is going to be such a fun day to
Great
come
chance to check it out and
meet the coaches and see, just kind of check the facility out, ask all the questions with like no pressure and.
Yeah. So getting to that, and as we wrap up here, sometimes for people who are getting started into wanting to make a change for themselves, these things can be kind of daunting and maybe, it's something that is intimidating. So if somebody wants to make a change, what kind of advice can you give them maybe when selecting what gym to start at or how to maybe take those first steps? Yeah.
I kind of, in what I said before, that fitness is much more than just working out. I think it's important, instead of somebody just going, I'm going to start working out and like walking into a gym and just signing up, it's better to talk to, a trainer or the owner or whatever else and kind of get a better idea of what they do and what they provide. And then that will definitely help with the making it not feel quite so intimidating. For some people, the best road is maybe personal training, where they're going to work one-on-one just to get more confident with themselves and with handling weights before they step into like even a group setting or something like that. So I think it's really important to have a conversation. Just, if you're getting your kitchen remodeled, you wouldn't just hire anybody off the street and say, hey, can you do this for me? You'd want to talk to them and find out, what kind of products are they bringing in? What kind of how are they going to do it? How long is my house going to be under construction?
Sure.
It's same thing with fitness. How long is this road going to take? Can we set some goals? How are we going to get there?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's important too. It's a lifestyle, and we teach you how to live that lifestyle and give you all of the instruments that you need so that you can hit your goals, stay on your goals, and then live your goals. It's not. This isn't a week long.
Not a yo-yo situation.
Right.
It's about
learning,
getting results, and then maintaining results.
Sure, absolutely. So again, the A1 10-year anniversary celebration coming up on Sunday, September 15th. Time again?
11 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Tons of great stuff going on. Where can people learn more about that?
They can go to the website, so a1healthandfitness.com. They can always phone the gym. The number is 262-899-8531.
Okay.
Email too. So,
and it's all over Facebook.
Yeah. There's a Facebook event. So I think a lot of our members have been sharing it and stuff like that. So they should be able to find it that way too.
Perfect. Well, Alex, Liz, congrats on 10 years and thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
Thank you again to Alex Kain and Liz Dreher for dropping by to talk about the 10th anniversary celebration for A1 Health and Fitness. Always good to see them and always good to hear from you. If you have an idea for a guest for this show, please feel free to suggest a guest. Go to fuzzmartin.com/guest and fill in the form. That is fuzzmartin.com/guest. If you prefer to just email instead of going to a website and filling out a form, you can do that too. fuzz@fuzzmartin.com is my email address. Super simple, fuzz@fuzzmartin.com. New episodes drop on Tuesdays. You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, basically any podcast app that you can think of, you can listen to this show. You can also jump onto fuzzmartin.com and listen there if you'd like, which is, very nice of you to do so. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next Tuesday right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz.